The salute to the god and goddesses and the salute to the moon. That's what we're going to tutorial today. Hi everyone, if this is the first time we're meeting, my name is Jimmy Barkin. I've been teaching hot yoga for 40 years. Please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell, then you get notified when I post a new video. Anytime you're enjoying the video, please hit the like button. It boosts us up in the algorithm. The salute to the god and goddesses and the salute to the moon. So we're going to head over to our brand new home in Pompano Beach. If you've been following me on YouTube, you can see that we closed our studio in Fort Lauderdale after 39 years just a couple weeks ago. So it's been a pretty emotional week, and you can hear all about that in the video we did a couple weeks ago. Take a look at that video, you can watch it. It was an emotional tribute to Fort Lauderdale. But now we're heading over to our new home in Pompano Beach called the Yoga Home. So before we get into the tutorial, before we get over to the studio, I want to talk to you a little bit about why we call it the god and goddesses. As many of you know, in India, they got thousands of gods and goddesses. Even though yoga comes from Hinduism, which is the main religion in India. And it's a monotheistic religion, one god, but they have all these gods and goddesses to represent different aspects of the one god. Now, in the Bishnu Ghosh Bikram world, they call this particular sequence in Sanskrit Virabhadrasana, which Bishnu Ghosh was notorious for not directly interpreting the Sanskrit. Like, for example, when they do hands to feet pose, he says head to feet, but he says padahastasana, which is the literal translation is hands to feet pose. Or when he says fix firm, it's in Sanskrit Supta Vajrasana, which is reclining diamond. So he's notorious for not directly translating the Sanskrit. So why do they call it Virabhadrasana? Because, and we're going to do this at the studio, we're going to show you this particular vinyasa, which is a unique vinyasa from our lineage, is meant to go in 4 directions: north, south, east, and west. So Virabhadra, a creation of Shiva, was created to protect the god and goddesses. So he would sling his arrow to the demons to protect the god and goddesses from all 4 directions. So that's why they called it Virabhadrasana. But the literal translation for god and goddesses in Sanskrit is devas. That's why I changed it. I changed it to make the literal translation. Now, the salute to the moon, and pretty much they're the same thing, except you will see when we get to the studio, when we do salute to the god and goddesses, we rotate to the other side of the room. When we stay in one direction, we're doing what's called salute to the moon. So that is a literal translation. Chandra, moon, salutation. Chandra, moon, salutation is the salute. It's a salute to the moon. So let's head over to our new home at Pompano Beach and get started. So here we are for our first tutorial at our new yoga home, Pompano Beach. Thank you, Corbin Stacy. So I'm going to have Janice Iuliia assist me to show you salute to the moon and salute to the god and goddesses. Pretty much it's the same thing, like I explained in the intro, except in the god and goddess salute, we rotate. I'm going to have Janice Iuliia start in downward dog. And so from downward dog, they're going to sweep the sky. I'm going to have Janice do her right leg and Iuliia do her left leg. They're going to sweep up through, hands on the hips, and peel the stomach off the thigh. Arms overhead and drop the shoulders down. A lot of you are not going to be able to get down this low. So let's bring Iuliia up for a second. Feet a little closer. One of the first things you can do to get down lower, if you're struggling to get down to where that thigh is parallel, is to get a bigger step. Take a long step. We want the knee to come over the ankle. Now that's going to get you a little bit lower. Another really good thing to do at both levels, advanced and beginner, is to bend the back leg just a little bit. You can lower down a little bit easier. That gives you a little bit more room in the hips. It actually allows for more range of motion. And then, as low as you can get, straighten the back leg, because that's the hard part of this pose, keeping the back leg straight. So now if you're not all the way down, like Iuliia, all you want to do at this level is just slowly start to work your way down. But once you can get that thigh parallel to the floor, we're going to create a right angle, just like we do in runner's lunge. Check out this video on sun salutation. So the knees over the ankle, the thighs parallel to the floor, and the hips are square. So look how Iuliia's got to pull her left hip back. On this side, Janice has to pull her right hip back. The shoulders and the hips are square. Thighs parallel, and then straighten that back leg, and then make sure the back toes come directly over the heel, up toward the ceiling, and straighten that back leg as much as you can. And if you're not able to get the thigh parallel to the floor, you're going to stay here like Iuliia and work your way down. Still face forward. But once your thigh's parallel, this is more advanced. If the thigh's parallel to the floor, you can interlace the fingers, relax the neck, let the head fall, push out the back toes, and reach back as far as you can. Once again, I was explaining before, the hard part is to straighten this back leg. So make sure that leg is nice and straight, the thighs parallel to the floor, and you're gonna push off those toes into a wonderful back bend. Now the second part of this pose, both in moon salutation and salute to the god and goddesses, we go from crescent to kneeling salute. So now I'm gonna have them switch sides, you can see a better angle. Now from crescent pose with Janice's left leg out, Iuliia's right leg out, they're in crescent. Now Iuliia's gonna bring her left knee forward, Janice is gonna bring her right knee forward, and down they go into kneeling salute. Let's carve out the two 90-degree angles, which is key, a little different than some other styles of yoga. This knee is over the ankle, so that there's a right angle underneath the thigh and down the calf. And now this is the key. That back knee is going to be underneath the hip. And a lot of other styles of yoga, they have the back knee way back and they bend into this leg, into their back bend. We're not doing that. We're going to hold the two right angles the whole time. Now in the Bikram world, they have the foot much closer to the knee. Do that for a second. So this knee is bent way over. To me, I think it's way too much damaging for that knee, and it could result in an injury. The reason why they did it, and I've talked about before, Bikram's legs are this big. So his knee had to be over his toes, just like he did in triangle pose, but I think it's gonna compromise the knee. So I changed it, knee over the ankle. Then we have the two right angles the whole time. So now we have carved out the two 90-degree angles with each leg, which you wanna hold the whole time. From here, interlace the fingers, chin to the chest. We're gonna come down in a rounded spine, so it's actually Jana Shirshasana, head to knee pose. Touch the hands to the ground, stomach in. And now on the inhale, you're gonna come up, and on the exhale, you're gonna go into a back bend. I'm not gonna have Iuliia go too far, just the position you can go. Now Janice is gonna go all the way back, and what you can do, push into the outside of your right shin. So if I were to hold her shin down to the ground, I just gave Janice a whole bunch of leverage. So that's what I want you to do. Push that shin into the ground, open up the heart, relax the neck and let it fall back. And that's the kneeling salute. So now in the moon salutation, we go right to downward dog. We step up with the left leg, do crescent kneeling, crescent kneeling. But in the salute to the god and goddesses, we rotate from one side to the other. So now I'm gonna have Janice and Iuliia show you what that's like in a flow format. Now in the Barkin world, we do the salute to the god and goddesses a little different than the Bikram world and the Bishnu Ghosh world. We start in downward dog. From downward dog, the right leg swings through to crescent pose. Hands on the hips come up, arms overhead. I'm gonna have Iuliia stay high, but Janice take the advanced into a back bend. Now we're gonna rotate to the back of the room, do crescent facing the back of the room. Janice takes the advanced, Iuliia stays up forward. Now the right knee comes down and forward, so the knee comes underneath the hip. We carve out those two right angles, head to knee, forehead to the knee, chin to the chest. Inhale up, exhale back bend, kneeling salute. Then we come up, rotate to the front. The left knee drops down, back foot flat, head to knee. Inhale up, exhale back bend, push into your shin, open the chest and heart. Then we go back to downward facing dog. And in the Barkin class, we then step the left leg through to crescent and do it the other side. Now in the Bishnu Ghosh or Bikram world, they start from a standing position. So from the standing position, now we're going to do all 4 directions. Arms overhead, right leg steps out, crescent. Boom. Go right to that advanced position or in the back bend. Now you're going to rotate to the back of the room. Crescent. So it's pretty much the same at this point. Now here's where it's different. The right foot steps up to the left. You're still standing. You're going to rotate to the right. And your right leg steps out, crescent pose. Now we're going to the other direction. Now we rotate around to the left, crescent pose. The right knee comes down, or our first kneeling salute, head to knee, palms together. And if you've noticed, the left foot doesn't move. It stays in the exact same position the whole time. Inhale up, exhale back. If you do it properly, the left foot should stay in that position the whole time. Good. Inhale, come up, rotate around to the right. Drop the left knee down. Kneeling salute, head to knee. Inhale up, exhale back. And come up. Now you're going to step your right foot to your left, face the back of the room. Right foot steps, left knee down. Chin to the chest, head to knee, kneeling salute. Hold the abdominals. Inhale up, exhale back. Relax the abdominals on the exhaling. Kneeling salute, open the heart. And inhale, come up, rotate around to the front, right knee down. Head to knee, palms together. Inhale up, exhale back, kneeling salute. And then the right foot steps to the left foot as you stand up. Arms by your side. And that is salute to the God and goddesses. So that is our episode for today. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell. You get notified when I post a new video. Hit the like button if you're enjoying this content. Any questions or struggles you have, put them in the comments below. I get to all those comments. And I'll see you at the next video. Bye, everyone.